I hope the people who have created this inconvenience for people like myself, they should ask God for forgiveness. I mean, this is terrible. We are the customer. We're the one that maintain Spirit Airlines for 34 years in business. And look this is how they finish it up. That's bad. That's very bad.
Thank you so
They
much.
should be ashamed of themselves.
We got our flight canceled 2 times. First time was yesterday, and then they said to rebook the flight over again. And then we did rebook it, but then this morning when we got here, there was like, oh, we canceled all the flights because the Spirit shut them down. They did not give us any refund. We had to call one of our uncles so if he can help us pay for the next flight because we did not have any money. We had to pay $1,600 for the flight for today, but we had to call someone to help us because we couldn't afford it.
We found out after our flight was canceled. So we had a 3 o'clock flight at first, and then it got pushed back to 4. And then while we were on the plane, they were saying something about fumes and the AC not working, and then they told us to get off the plane, and then we waited there for like another 30 to 45 minutes, and then they said our flight was canceled. Yeah, we had to book new flights with a different airline. It's just been us here with 3 kids, 2 5-year-olds and an 11-month-old, and we just been in the airport all night. First they told us that they were gonna give us hotels, Uber, and food vouchers, but then they canceled and said that they couldn't give it to us, so we just been sitting here all night. It's unfortunate, and they definitely do need to be sued because people pay their money to be able to go where they want to go. And for you to cancel and not have no type of like backup resources for them or another way for them to get to where they need to go, is kind of like, that's messed up.
And when we get here, there was a guy so calm posting some signs saying that Spirit ain't working no more. So what are we gonna do? There was ladies with kids on the floor, and there's even a lot of people that they can't afford to buy another ticket. So that's bad. You don't do something like that to people.
So I've been flying with Spirit for about a decade now, but I've always had a good experience, except for waking up this morning to a text saying that my flight was canceled for today. And I panicked for a little bit, but I had to go ahead and fly with booking with another airline. I feel like Spirit has usually been the economical way to fly, but as in recent times, we've been having difficulties with just keeping their bookings. So it was telling signs that the end was near, but it's here, and I got caught up in the middle of it. I feel really bad for the people who are financially equipped to be able to rebook as quick because there's no refunds that was issued yet.
The affordableness that I was enjoying is now gone away, has been ripped from underneath of me, and it's just another wrinkle, you could say, in today's economy with everything else. This is just another thorn that I have to deal with, which is kind of sort of unfortunate, again, because I'm already dealing with a lot of things. So this on top of what I'm already dealing with is just unfortunate, truly unfortunate.
Heard the news last day or two about Spirit's finances. And we've been using an app to track all of our planes in the sky today, knowing that it could be our last day. And it appears that it is our last day at Spirit today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jessica. Look, it is a very sad day for employees of Spirit, for the traveling public that was flying with Spirit, and for anybody that loved cheap flights. We want travelers to be aware if they had any immediate travel with Spirit. Your biggest priority right now is to rebook yourself on another carrier because Spirit is not able to accommodate any further. And so we are seeing in real time travelers scramble. And it's very similar to when we see a big winter storm cancel hundreds or even thousands of flights. There's not an endless supply of additional seats to get rebooked on at the favorable time you would want to travel. So you need to act quickly. For anybody that is traveling maybe for Memorial Day or over the summer, they had tickets with Spirit. There's sort of a silver lining there for you because Spirit has publicly acknowledged that they will provide automatic refunds for any travel that they cannot fulfill moving forward. And so at the very least, this is good news for anybody that did have a ticket. You're going to see a refund as long as you had purchased that using a credit or debit card. Typically, when liquidations happen, travelers are the last, if that, to get paid out. So when I mentioned rebooking, you really want to look for these carriers that are offering price-capped main economy fares. So American, United, JetBlue, as well as Allegiant, Frontier. You know, there's some crossover with other airlines out there flying on Spirit's routes. And basically they're offering some as low as $99 one way on JetBlue, for example. For travelers that have been stranded by Spirit to rebook something that is not outrageously expensive. You know, at any other time period, a last minute day of flight can be outrageously expensive. So again, another slight silver lining here is that anybody that is impacted is not going to see an outrageous additional cost on top of, not seeing a refund immediately. So we want travelers to be aware to look for those airlines that are flying on their routes that they need to travel on and identify the rescue fares by going directly to that carrier. And a lot of them have on their homepages, specific areas to go to for Spirit stranded passengers. You need to have your ticket number. Despite Spirit only having roughly 4% of the market share, the reason why I mentioned it's a sad day for anybody that loves cheap flights is because they were really a way for making travel more accessible to many Americans and many people out there that were looking to take an affordable vacation around the States as well as to Latin America and parts of the Caribbean. And so with Spirit out of the market now, yes, there will be some low-cost carriers that fill the gaps, not maybe every single gap on every single route, but it is going to be turbulent times ahead in terms of the cost of flights. Typically we see when Spirit exits a market, fares can rise upwards of 15 to 20% on any given route. So unfortunately, with Spirit not in existence anymore and the price of jet fuel, that is a recipe for more expensive flights in the future.
播报新闻是我的日常。必须时刻保持妆容和皮肤的最佳状态。当来到人生中最重要的时刻，也是 KS 逆时奇迹帮助我轻松驾驭，闪闪发光。KS 逆时奇迹活肤露、全效精华、精华霜，多达5种 EGF 6大冻龄关键成分，保湿效果让我非常满意，小细纹也不再困扰我。我就是我自己的最佳女主角。KS 让我从容自信，光彩动人。我是我人生中的大女主，我的最爱我做主。KS 逆时奇迹系列热卖中，下单请上快点购，透过中天新闻网 App 下单立减50，或输入 CTI 推荐码有额外折扣。